Our season finale here, guys, is coming up, and we're going to be taking on the Las Vegas Raiders here at home for continuing here our Arizona Cardinals Season 2. So questions that are going to be made, definitely with free agency coming along for us. There you see they've already pretty much have the divisions, the playoff seats pretty much lined up for the AFC there. And so for us, we're potentially basically chasing a first round bye in the playoffs. So with a win here, we should definitely solidify it. So it's going to be a good matchup. Technically speaking, Vegas and Phoenix are not that far from each other. They're very close geographically speaking. But because they play in opposing conferences, it's also one of those matchups, kind of like the one in the previous video against the Patriots, where it happens like once every 4 years or something like that. So it's just one of those things that it just doesn't happen. It's kind of like, before. Now obviously baseball, the divisions, they end up playing the inner leagues and stuff, but like the Angels and like the Dodgers, right? Even though they were probably no more than 20 25 miles away from each other, they didn't really get to play each other because one team's in the National League and the other team is in the American League. So it's one of those things. And so here we are. We're just as Kyler Murray just does that deep dive there, it ends up, oh my God, it's just acrobacy. And we have been really doing a really great job here. It's 20-0. Really giving his hometown crowd a really good show for the regular season finale here. As we're looking at the scoreboard on the bottom, technically Green Bay is actually losing 3-7, which is somewhat accurate considering that's what happened in the playoffs. Baltimore ends up winning 23-21 against Atlanta. I'm surprised that one's that close. And let's just take a look here one more time at this. James Conner just on fire. That's all I can describe his last couple games here of the season. He's just been on fire, able to do that leap, like just absolutely fantastic there. As Hawkins just unable to keep that pass. Normally he's really good about that stuff. And unfortunately, just one of those things that just doesn't happen there. There you see Texans beat the Giants. Not really much of a surprise there. Giants, poor Giants. They need to figure out the whole Daniel Jones situation and whether or not they're going to bench him or not. It almost kind of makes you wonder. Leave a comment below if you would agree. Like if they hadn't had benched Eli Manning and he would have stayed maybe another year, I would dare to say maybe the Giants would have had a better season than having Daniel Jones take over. Maybe he might get it together. Maybe not. I hope for his sake. Obviously the organization has a lot of things to figure out there, but that's definitely a key issue. I would say, if not number one, a very close number two. So here we are once again continuing that update. 17-14 Green Bay. Rams beating the Seahawks 7-0. Interesting. And then Jets beat the Dolphins 15-10. Ironically, the Dolphins are involved in like a lawsuit situation with the whole Brian Flores fiasco, which I was actually one of those the first people that started talking about to like my friends, and like I was like, wait, why is Brian Flores getting fired? Like the team, I mean, granted it wasn't a playoff team, but I think the Dolphins had a terrible start to the season and they ended up finishing, I believe, 8-8 with one tie, if I remember correctly. And I was like, wait, why is he getting let go? Normally the coaches that are let go are the ones that's just DeAndre's breaking that tackle there, gonna get us a touchdown here. It's gonna be a beautiful pass to start the second half here as we just continue our dominant run. But going back to the Flores situation, like I was like, wait, normally like the coaches that get let go are the ones that do really horrible, and sometimes they're kind of like not forgiven, but like they're like, oh, okay, we'll talk about it next year when the team is in a complete tank mode. But obviously, if you look at the teams that got new coaches, Jacksonville, the Texans, which were honestly probably the two worst teams in the NFL this year. They ended up getting new coaches, but the Dolphins to get Andrew Hopkins another breakaway to get two touchdowns in less than 6-7 minutes. Wow, it's just fantastic, fantastic. Great communication there by Murray and Hopkins, which is definitely going to be key for that 2022 season here for the Arizona Cardinals. So, hopefully Flores is able to get that situation remedied. Obviously, there's some claims that that the owner was paying him extra or would offer bonus money if he would tank the season and something like that. And I'm like, whoa. The reason why I brought it up is because I was reading this article that Sean Payton. Obviously, we've heard the story about Tom Brady potentially joining as an executive or something in the Dolphins organization or getting an ownership stake. And then I also was reading this article about Sean Payton that he would have been one of the highest paying head coaches. I think the offer was 5 years, $100 million. If it's true, obviously we'll never know because no one will ever talk about it officially on the record. But leave a comment below. Definitely let me know what you guys think about that whole situation. Would have Payton been able to do better with the Dolphins? I personally didn't think the Saints were in that tough of a ship. But obviously, if you guys see something that I'm not seeing, to me it was more the Saints just really needed to get a new quarterback to replace Drew Brees, and they just didn't really have anybody at the moment that was ready. I think Winston did an okay job. Obviously, the injury kind of hindered whatever possibilities there was for him to continue to roll. Maybe they might roll the dice on him again. Obviously, Cam Newton had an opportunity, a second chance after the thing with the Patriots. After the stint with the Patriots. And it didn't really go that well. So, honestly, that would have been my vote as we end up having our interception here. 51-0 here in the fourth quarter, guys. And Raiders looking for some life, and they end up picking up a field goal, so it's 51-3. But otherwise, I would have thrown Cam Newton's name in the Saints' potential replacement hat. But yeah, definitely let me know in the comments. I definitely want to know your opinions on that whole Dolphin situation with Brian Flores and Sean Payton and all that. So as we move on here to basically the latter half of the fourth quarter, there you see the Washington, still technically speaking, the Washington football team winning 20-17 against the Eagles. Green Bay looking like they took the lead, potentially could hold off the Niners 31-28 as we head to the final 2 minutes here. Oh my God, and it's gonna be close there. So Darnell Daniels just falls short of getting the fourth down. We're gonna give it to our boy Casey Keenum, fake field goal. He's gonna be short. Oh, and the Raiders head coach loving it, but they end up not being able to do anything with it. So we end up kicking a field goal at the end of the fourth quarter to pretty much wrap this game up. Give the fans a little thing more to cheer about. It's 54-3. So if this was a television broadcast, unless you were the Cardinals fan, probably not really the greatest entertaining games there. There you see, just look at how dominant. 9.2 yards per play, 291 rush, 437 pass. Obviously, the biggest letdown was the takeaways, guys. But I really do appreciate you guys sticking around to the end to watch everything. Stay tuned for the next one, guys, because it's going to be playoff season, guys. Thank you, guys. DC3 Johnson signing off.